Hi, I'm Brett Berger, Director of Marketing for Microdrones. In this video, we're going to review the latest batch of updates for mdInfinity Cloud. mdInfinity is our unique data processing software that is packaged with either the purchase or rental of drone survey equipment from Microdrones to help you quickly and efficiently process geospatial data. Joining me today is Robert Chrisman, our Marketing Manager and Voice of the Customer, Stephanie Van Weerts, our Software Product Owner from our Software Development Team, and Vincent Beauregard, our mdInfinity Customer Success Manager. Welcome all.
Hi, Brett.
Hey, Brett.
Well, great. Robert, why don't you start by giving us a quick overview of these updates?
Sure, Brett. Today, Stephanie and Vincent will review several new features that enhance the user's experience with mdInfinity Cloud. These new features include viewer updates that allow you to view and inspect your 3D point cloud within mdInfinity, a new projects view to help you keep track of everything, including your raw data, base stations, and processing tasks. The Precision Enhancement module is now available to aid in point cloud noise reduction while preserving edges and irregular features. Some updates in georeferencing to help manage files and projects. Also, there's a new token estimator, which will help to get an idea of the number of tokens needed for processing before you fly. And finally, a new frequently asked questions section that can help you further understand the details of LiDAR and photogrammetry.
Great. Sounds like some exciting developments that will greatly assist our mdInfinity users. Stephanie, let's start by handing the session over to you and learn more about these changes in the viewer.
Thank you, Brett. So now you should see my screen open on mdInfinity. First of all, you will now see at every release some onboarding slide that will explain to you what's new on mdInfinity. So every time we will update mdInfinity, you will be aware of the new feature. So right now you can see the Precision Enhancement, data viewer, the new project, the token estimator, and the FAQ. So now I'm inside mdInfinity. The first thing I would like to show you is the new project section. So now we have a new project section where you will see that all your data can be structured in this section. So for example, here I have a brand new project that I created today for the demo today, which I can see some processing tasks that I previously did. But I also uploaded some data. So I have my last file that were the result of my processing that we can do right after. But also I have some flights in the uploaded data section. And this here, it's the raw data that I can upload directly after my flight. So I have a place where I can store my data and that I can reuse them directly in mdInfinity after. So to do this, you just have to create a new project. And from your new project, you can upload data here, and you will see it's pretty straightforward. So you can add some flights where you can add some raw data in it, and then you can also add some other data, for example, your last file or your base station file that can be used in many flights within the project. So here you have a full structured data. You can also download the result directly from this view, or download your last file that you have previously uploaded, or your raw data that you previously uploaded that you can download here also. So this here is the main view of the project, but you will see that in the processing module, we will also refer to this view.
Thanks, Stephanie. I'm excited to learn more about this next module, Precision Enhancement. This was previously available in custom services, but now the user can take advantage of this module on their own, correct?
Yeah, sure. So now I will enter the Precision Enhancement module. So you can have an unlimited plan or a pay-per project and pay by token like every other module in mdInfinity Cloud. So here you can see the usual dashboard as you are familiar with in the other module. So here I have the different parameters that I can select in Precision Enhancement. We will not go through all the parameters today, but we have some documentation, and you can always reach out to us for more details about those. So I'll keep it as default for the moment. And here I can send my processing task. So now, as you can see, it's in progress. I did exactly the same processing just before the demo, so I can show you the result directly. So as usual, you can download the result. So you will have your last file after precision enhancement, so your enhanced data. But what's new also in mdInfinity now, it's that you can now view your data. So we add a viewer in mdInfinity. So directly from your processing task, you can click on the icon here, or you can also go in the detail page and click on the preview result button. So this will enable after you paid by token if you're in a paper project, or it will be directly enabled if you have an unlimited plan. So as you can see here, I have directly my last file after precision enhancement. So I can see a pretty clear last file. So my data set is pretty clear. I can do some profile on it, for example. I can also change the display. So here I have by elevation, but I could change by the intensity. I can also change by, I can change the gradient also here. If I had some classification on my data, I could have show display by classification as well. And we have some measure option that you can use in the viewer. So that pretty much summarized the precision enhancement module. As I said before, for the details on the parameters and how it will affect the result, we'll have some documentation to share with the user on this, and just reach out to us for more details.
So thank you, Stephanie. So georeferencing is another module I'm already familiar with. But again, what updates can you share here?
Yeah, sure. So in georeferencing, you will see first that the workflow changed a bit. In the input page, you will now have to select your project, a bit like I just showed in precision enhancement. You have to select your payload. You can select the SBET file from a existing trajectory task or upload a new file like we have. But also you can select a flight like I showed previously in the project view. You can create flight and upload there directly your raw data. So here it's the case. So I had my flight 1, I just selected, and here I can see all my MRS files directly from the project. So I don't have to upload them again. So I won't go through the whole workflow of georeferencing. We are already pretty familiar with it. So I want to show you the other update. So first, another update is that now we will always export the trajectory file, so the SBET, that is an input of georeferencing. We always export it in LAS as well. So you can open your trajectory as a LAS file in your viewer after. So it can help you understand the trajectory that the drone did to acquire the data. And again, here we are linked to the viewer, so the user can now see directly after the georeferencing, can see the result. So here, if I click on the viewer account, and here, very similar to what we have in precision enhancement, I can see my point cloud. I can create a profile here. So I can see here my data. I have some information about every point. If we will look closely, actually, this is the exact same flight that I use for the precision enhancement data. So we will be able to see that this point cloud here is a lot more thicker than the one after the precision enhancement. Okay, so yeah, here we have the trajectory that we export in LAS file now, so you can see the trajectory of your drone directly in the viewer. You can actually see here the takeoff of your drone or the landing. Yeah, so that's pretty much the update that we have in the georeferencing module.
All right, well, thank you, Stephanie. Now we'll turn things over to Vincent, and I think our next update is going to be very useful for all of our mdInfinity users because it's a token estimator. Vincent, why don't you show us how they can take advantage of this great resource?
Of course, Brett. So as you said, it is very useful for the user to be able to estimate their cost beforehand before their flight and processing. So now they have access to the token estimator. So to access it, they can go to their account icon at the top right of any screen and select use icon. From there, they have the option now to access the token estimation. To be able to use the token estimation, you might be prompted to enter some username and password. So please copy those information as you might be needing them further. So we now click on estimate to start the tool. So once in our token estimation tool, we can now enter the information of the payload and the flight parameters of our upcoming flight. So for example, we can enter the area parameters of our flight. We select an altitude, a speed, and an overlap. At the center pane, we see what are the information about our flight we'll be performing and the estimation of how many points we'll have in our output point cloud. On the right pane, we have our desired token estimated for each modules used for processing of our point cloud.
Thank you, Vincent. The estimator will be very beneficial, and so will the frequently asked questions section. This may allow our users to answer questions without needing to contact our support team. Vincent, can you walk us through this new feature?
Of course, Robert. So the brand new frequently asked question is now available from any pages in the mdInfinity. So you can access it in the lower right section of any pages, and you can click on it to access it. So the FAQ part is pretty straightforward. You have a list of questions that you might be asking yourself about your workflow, about the input, about the flights, or about the output. So they're organized by each modules, and you can access each section in the left menu. You can also, if you have a specific question, search directly in the FAQ. For example, you can search about the base station, and you will see all the information or questions that have already been asked about how to use your base station coordinates in the trajectory processing. Of course, if you have any more questions, you can still access our customer support through tickets, and we'll be pleased to answer your questions.
Well, thank you all for reviewing these new updates. If you have any further questions, please contact your Microdrones representative or sign in to Microdrones Client Services.